All right, everyone. Welcome to We Empower Her. This is my webinar series. In the webinar series, I do a variety of different topics just to help empower women. And give me just a second here. All right, so this one is in empowering women to inspire others. So again, thank you so much for joining me today. It is my pleasure to do this. I like to be able to help empower my community of women, and that's why I do this at no charge to you all. I am Antoinette Walton. I am the owner and CEO of We Empower Her LLC. We Empower Her LLC mission statement is We Empower Her LLC offers a unique educational experience for women by providing opportunities for women's empowerment. And a little bit about what we're going to be discussing today. It is empowering women to inspire others. So we are here to learn how we can inspire others because sometimes it's hard to find the words to say or the things to do. So I want to kind of help guide you in how to be an example of being an inspiring woman, as well as ways that you can inspire yourself as well. And then you'll also be able to speak with the other women in here to help so that they can help you come up with ideas on how you can be more inspiring. This is interactive. So if you do want to say something, just go ahead and jump off of mute and say it, or you can put it in the chat. I do like to have participation because it gets boring just listening to one person talk the whole time, right? So I want to make sure that it is a valuable experience for everyone. So first we will do an activity, which is in a breakout rooms. This is kind of an icebreaker as well as a way to help help us understand what inspiration is and different ways that people have been inspired. So I'm going to give 10 minutes. Each of you will be in a breakout room. There's only three of us, three of you on I think there's only three people. So there's only three people so far. So if I do have more people join, then we'll put them in a breakout room. But I'm just going to put all three of you into a breakout room to make it a bit easier. Give me just a second. So what we're going to do is you'll have 10 minutes in the breakout room. You will share and identify ways that you have been inspired by someone else. And make sure it is a way that you've been inspired by someone else so that the other ladies in the room can get some ideas on how they can inspire others. Each person gets a few minutes to share with each other, and then when you come back, you can share one or two moments that the group has provided, maybe just one of the best ones that you guys thought about, since there's only three of us today. So let's go ahead and start the rooms. Before I put you in breakout rooms, are there any questions? All right.
None from me.
Okay. And I will let you all know when it's close to being the end of the breakout rooms. So it will be they're 10 minutes. And then if you guys feel like it's too much, or actually the time that you have left over after you share, just go ahead and get to know each other because this is also an opportunity for us to network. We can never get enough networking. And I think that it would be a good opportunity. I have two sorority sisters in here, and then I have one lady that I love dearly that I've known, 14 years now. We worked together a long time ago. So I think that it's a good opportunity for people to get to know each other as well inside of these breakout rooms. So I'm going to create the room. There you go. Tina, are you there? If you're on the Facebook Live, come on into the actual Zoom. Right now, we're doing a breakout room activity. So all the ladies that are on the Zoom are actually in a breakout room right now. So there will be some moments that it's completely quiet for about 10 minutes, and then we'll come back. Hey, ladies, welcome back.
Hello, we're back.
Hello.
Hope y'all had fun.
We did.
Let's see. Okay, so do you guys want to share one of the moments that you guys talked about?
I guess I can share mine. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So the one my moment, or my empowering moment, I use my niece as an example. She inspires me and she empowers me. Like I was telling the ladies, that when she first went to college, she got pregnant in her, I guess like I think it was like her second year, almost into her second year. And that's one of the things, you go to school and then you got to come home and tell mom, like, yeah, I got a situation. I mean, she was
Yeah.
scared to death to tell her mom. And when she told me, I was like, okay, we'll work it out. But from the one side of the family, it was like, okay, you need to figure out what you're going to do. And for me, I'm like, okay, let me know what you need to do. When her son was born, I'm like, her and her mom were out. So it's like, just come move in with me, one bedroom apartment. Y'all, either have the living room or the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
She really ended up getting herself together, even though she didn't have a lot of financial support. But I said, look, you got a roof over your head, your son will be fed, and we're in the same house. And like I was telling the lady, she was looking for a place to stay once she got on her feet, and actually an apartment below me, because we were in a high rise, became available. Talked to the owner. I knew him and he knew me. He let her move into the apartment. She didn't have much. I said, doesn't make a difference. You can always come upstairs and eat. As long as you got a bed, TV, and some kind of mode of communication, don't worry about everything else. Got herself together, and now she actually bought a single family home by herself at 30.
Wow.
She's a veteran. She's still in the home to this day, and actually doing very, very well. And she finished her bachelor's and I think she got her master's. I think it's going on 2 years. So I'm inspired by her for what she went through, but she still managed to finish her education, and things have gotten, they've gotten really good for her. So I'm proud of her.
Yeah, so it sounds like she was able to be vulnerable and, share that she needed some help, right? And
I had to
then
kind of, pull it out of her. I'm like, look, just
yeah.
stay here. She's like, but you're in a one bedroom. I was like, okay, well, you and your mom are on the outs, and you got to do, you can't be out there with barely a 1-year-old.
Right. And so she was vulnerable. She was positive. She had a positive outlook on it, right?
Yeah.
And then she was able to, not focus on, and I wouldn't say baby is negative, but the situation may have
Yeah.
been a negative thing, but she was optimistic about it.
Yeah.
So that's a good example of how you can be inspired from anything. There are various ways that people can be inspired, but and I just wanted to have you guys talk about those different ways so that you can see there are so many different ways to be inspired and to be an inspiration to others. So sharing your story, sharing someone else's story can also be a good way to inspire someone. So thanks for sharing.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. So one of the big things I've seen when trying to inspire others is being vulnerable. If you can't be vulnerable, if you can't put your own insecurities or your own things that may have affected you out on the table, then how can you expect someone to even listen to you to inspire them, right? It shows that you're relatable. So when you're vulnerable, you show how relatable you are to that person, right? You can show that, I'm human too, and you're not the only one that may have issues sometimes, or may have the certain things that you may be going through, and I can also relate, and I also have faults, also have things that make me a human just like you. um any thoughts about being vulnerable? Anyone want to share or talk about that? Now, I told y'all we got to be interactive, but it's okay. You came to learn from me, right?
I would say something,
Sure.
like you stated, I think vulnerability is important because it shows that human side of you more
Mhm.
so, and that you've been through some things, but you're not ashamed to share that and help someone, like you said, that's going through something something else in life where they need, kind of like empathy or
Yeah.
a good listener.
Yeah. And I've learned, so a lot of times I used to feel bad when someone would tell me something that they're going through, and then I would say, oh, well, I've been through that too. And then I start sharing my story. But then I learned that, when you share your own story, people feel more comfortable with you, and they're okay with giving you more information so that you can help them, inspire them. I've had so many people tell me, um, that me sharing something with them helped to inspire them to to do what they needed to do. It's just like school for me, is a big inspiration for others, because I went to school while I had children. I just had a baby and I just got out of my master's degree. And while having the baby, I was in the hospital. I had several different things going on, and I was still able to complete my master's. And that, even though that's not a negative thing, having a baby, but being able to still tackle those obstacles and things that you have to get done while raising a family of four and having a new baby come on, and that's a big deal. And me sharing that with others helps them get through maybe their school or maybe their tough time where they're having to, deal with their family and they don't know how they're going to get through it. So you just never know how being vulnerable, opening up, can help another person. All right, next is the next tip that I want to give is to be positive. Avoiding negativity is very important. I know that all of y'all follow me on Facebook, and sometimes I do have some negativity, but it's always like wrapped into some type of joke, right? And I'm really not a negative person. I've always tried to, see the positive side of things. And even if I'm put into a situation that I don't like I don't want to do it, I don't feel like doing it, I always try to, take myself out of the picture and think about the big picture, and how that can help me or help someone else. And then I think I try to be more optimistic about that scenario or that situation. Now, you know, when gas was high, I couldn't be any optimistic about that. That's one thing. But I do most of the time, I do try to avoid being negative about things and try to look at the full thing. Um, but if you're always negative, how can you be an inspiration to others, right? If every time someone comes up to you, you're talking about, oh, I hate this, I hate that, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, oh, that person gets on my nerves, oh, why are you saying this to me, everybody's always mean. If there's no positivity in it, if you're not optimistic about things, why would I want to even listen to you trying to inspire me? And will you even inspire me if you're negative all the time? I don't think that can inspire me. So try to avoid negativity. Um, if you need to, write down your negative thoughts in a journal, or put it in your notepad on your phone or something, and take that away from out of your mind to actually say out loud. Any failures that you have, and I put failures in quotation marks because I don't think anything is a failure. There you go, my optimism there. I don't think anything is a failure. Anything that you don't succeed at, it doesn't mean that you failed. It just means that it's an area of opportunity. It's a way for you to better yourself. It's a way for you to um, a testimony of some sort, right? Um, just like Laverne's niece, she's now a testimony to others that you can get out of college. Was she in high school or college? Laverne, was it high school when she got pregnant?
That was college.
Okay, you can go to college, get pregnant, and still finish your degree, get your house, get your job, and do what you need to do for yourself. She's now a testimony to that. She can go talk to others and share her positivity and inspire others that way. Think about the other situations where people have inspired you all that y'all shared in your breakout rooms. Think of how that person may have taken a a failure and turn that into maybe a way to better themselves, an opportunity area. And I always look at my areas that I don't do so well in as an area of opportunity. I learn from it. If it's something I don't know, I try to go find it and figure it out, and I do a lot of research on it. And sometimes I go a little bit too far, but I just want to make sure that I don't have that again. And if it does happen again, then maybe I took one piece of that failure and learned about it, but I didn't learn the whole thing. So then it still doesn't make me feel like a failure. It makes me help better myself, because then once I talk to someone about the same scenario or a similar scenario, I can say, well, this is how I got out of this. This is how this is what I learned about it. And maybe I can help you learn about it a little bit more as well. Do y'all have any thoughts on being positive and avoiding negativity? Any thoughts at all?
I think that it's important to be positive because notice that when you're negative, it's draining. I mean,
Mhm.
it's like it zaps all your energy when you're negative, or if you surround yourself around a negative environment.
Yes, it does. Um, it just it takes away everything from you. And then it can also spill into your home life, your work life, and everything, because you're you're now negative Nancy all the time. And we don't want that. We want you to show your positive side. Now, you don't always have to be happy. You don't always have to walk around with a smile, but just try to not bring that negativity to every scenario. Now, of course, there will be times where you won't be happy about something and you may not see that optimistic view of it, but and that's okay. In those situations, I tell myself to kind of step back and give myself a moment to kind of think about the full picture, and before I react to it, because once I react in the moment, and I had to learn this, so that's one of my testimonies. If I react in the moment, then it's going to be a negative situation. So if I have time to think about it, even if I just take a couple of seconds to think about it, it usually turns my thoughts around and helps me not be as negative. But if you have if you're being negative and not being positive, then you can't inspire anyone with your negativity. They're just going to think that just you just are you don't care, you don't have anything to offer to them. So let's go to the next one if no one else has any thoughts on that one. Next is be authentic. So always be yourself. And that was one thing that I struggled with when I was younger as well, being myself. I always thought, I talk too much. I always thought uh, people didn't like me, and I really cared about how people's perceptions were of me. So I kind of stifled my light, my brightness, until I realized once I got into a training industry, coaching leadership positions, That if I'm myself, I can influence people more. I can um, inspire people more. I, you are seen more of a leader when you are yourself than when you're being, fake or not not coming with your whole self. So I say always be yourself. People will listen to you more when they know that you are yourself. And that goes back to that vulnerability. You're opening up, people will trust you. When you're being yourself, people will trust you. People will want to come to you and want to hear what you have to say to help inspire them. Have your own ideas. So don't don't just go on like social media and just find some motivational quote and then just spew that off to somebody just because you think that that's going to inspire them. And that's not going to inspire them. They're just going to be like, oh, you just took that from somewhere. Um, have think of things yourself, your own ideas that you have within you to help inspire someone to be their best selves, to bring their best selves. Now, okay. Sometimes a motivational quote might be a good thing. They're going through a hard time and you just want to pick them up. Well, then you did a search and found a quote, but then back that up by being there for them. And I think that's my next thing. Okay. Back that up by, being there for them and still having your own ideas, but you can also supplement that with someone else's idea, right? Um, but I just put that in there because if you are authentic, being yourself, using your own thoughts in your own mind rather than what someone else may have said, then you show that vulnerable side, you show that human side. You're relatable. You They want to come and be there and talk to you and let you be there for them and inspire them. Um, what do y'all have about being authentic? Any thoughts, questions, stories, ideas?
I
What are
think
your
it's
what are
important.
your own ideas?
I
Sorry, go
think it's
ahead.
important to always be yourself. I guess for me, I don't know if maybe it's in my nature. I'm pretty observant. So I kind of know like if I'm looking like I'm not interested, it's because I all I hear is BS. But I tend to pick up on things pretty quickly. Like for me, I can pretty much tell when someone's not being authentic. And then when I start feeling a certain way and they're not being authentic, it makes me not want to be around that person. Like I'll kind of like I guess I kind of either shut down or kind of like just
Yeah.
remove myself from the equation. Because I don't have a lot of people that I hang around with, which is by choice. Because I have been in situations, even when I was in college, I was in a situation where I was, it was just me and four other girls, but sometimes too many, my mindset, and it's, that was back then, it was like sometimes too many women and too many egos and everybody, it just wasn't genuine sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And so, four friends end up becoming one friend.
Aw.
Because I mean, sometimes it's like that. It happens like that in real life.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to associate yourself with like-minded people.
Yes.
And if you're around somebody if you're with somebody that's constantly negative, like everything, you can step out the front door like, oh, God, blah, blah, blah. Get into the car, oh God, it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, I'm gonna need you to be quiet, or I'll just go do what I gotta do by myself. And I do
Yeah.
a lot of stuff by myself because I don't like to depend on others.
Yeah. And a lot of times people are um they are negative because they're not being themselves, right? They're not being authentic. And they probably want to be more authentic and they can't because they may not, or they feel like they can't because they may not think that people will accept their true selves.
Right.
And when you hold that in a lot, it's harder to be yourself. It's harder to have your own ideas when you do think that people are not going to accept you for you. Um, and I know sometimes as women, it's hard to put away some of those insecurities that we have and just be our total selves. But if you want to be able to inspire people, that is important that you are an authentic person and you're always being yourself and you have your own ideas and not just trying to piggyback off of others' ideas.
Yeah, I mean,
Thanks for
'cause I
sharing.
mean, yeah, because I mean, I find that, I mean, at my age, well, even younger, it's either you're gonna like me or you don't. Because I'm definitely not one that's gonna be a people pleaser. I mean, I'm gonna be who I am. I can't live myself through through somebody else. I mean, we all have something in life or something has happened in life where we wish things are different, but you have to move on. I
Yeah.
can't live myself, I can't live the way I mean, I probably could, the way my niece lives if I was in a different, different things happen for a reason. My biggest thing is because, like with me, it's always been my weight because it fluctuates.
Hmm.
But what makes me stay distant from sometimes family is because the first thing they say when you see, you're like, oh my God, girl, you gained weight. I'm thinking like, but is that the first thing you're gonna say? And
Yeah.
that's why we don't talk.
Right.
Because I don't spend my time trying to live through or make everybody else happy.
Yeah, and that goes back to being an inspiration for people. Telling me that I gained weight is not going to help me inspire me to lose weight, right? It's going to probably
Right.
make me feel bad. Well, not
Yeah.
you because you said you don't care, but it
Yeah.
may just make someone feel better. It may make someone think like I don't want to be around you because you're not really inspiring me. You're not giving me tips on how to well, no, that'll be well received, or you're not trying to help me, or let's say we can go do this together, or let's do this together, let's try to work together. You're just ridiculing me. And that's one thing that can help someone not be inspired by you is having those kind of comments towards people.
Mhm.
So yes, I agree with that. All right, next one. This is the last one. The last tip that I want to give is to show support. So whenever someone is in need of inspiration from you, or you want to provide inspiration to someone, be supportive. It's really important to be supportive to someone when you're in being inspirational. Let them know that you're there for them by if you need me after I give you after I'm being myself, after I'm being authentic with you, after I'm sharing my story with you, let them know that you're still there. Don't just dip out on them after you give them a little dose of inspiration. You can be inspirational and that person still needs that inspiration from you. So just let them know that you're there for them. Um, if they don't have your contact information, give them your contact information and just, check in on them periodically and just continuously let them know that you're there for them whenever they need you. Well, I wouldn't say whenever they need you because you can't always be there, but just let them know that if they need you, reach out to you and you'll do your best to try to help out. Also celebrate the small wins, just like the big wins. Um, I saw someone say, I went to University of Phoenix, so I'm still in their like Facebook forums. Someone said that, and I hear this all the time, that people tell people that your associate's degree is not important, so you shouldn't celebrate that. Why would you tell somebody that? Any type of accomplishment that you get, heck, even attending college for a semester, that's better than not even trying, even if you want to and you don't even try. So I'm going to say an associate's degree is important, a certificate is important. If you went to technical school, that's important. If you got a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a doctorate degree, if you went to college for a semester and had to take a break, I am celebrating all of it
I
because
would say
you
a
tried.
class is a win. I,
Yes.
I saw I saw a lady that was I think I want to say she's about 84,
Mhm.
and she got her bachelor's. And what had happened, she retired at 66,
Mhm.
and she took one class at a time,
Yes.
and she got her bachelor's degree at 84. She looked
Exactly.
good too. She didn't even, so
I bet she
one
did.
class is great.
Mhm.
If you keep going, whatever it is, I think one class would be great. And
Exactly.
that lady right there is inspirational for people
And you can
that,
still do it. Yeah.
it might take a long time, but man, she did it after she
Mhm.
retired and took one class at a time.
Yes.
That
I
was
completely
inspirational
agree.
for me. I said, maybe I could do that.
Mhm. And you can. You can.
Right? Yes, yes, I do.
um, let me
If I
tell
really put
you,
my mind to
let me tell
it.
you, Yasmin. I'm in a sorority with a bunch of amazing women, and they range from young to older ladies. And some of them are just now finishing college. Some of them have completed college. Some of them are in the beginning stages of college. But a lot of us took a long time. And I know that you probably know that I started to go to college in 2003 when I graduated high school, and I didn't even get my associate's degree until 2012, I think. So um that's it's a long road for a lot of people, and taking one class and finishing that class, completing it, that is a very big deal. So it may be a
Yeah.
small win to some, but I'm saying, hey, even if it's a small win to you, celebrate it like it's a big win.
Oh
And
yeah.
for others as well, celebrate people's accomplishments. If they tell you they did something, celebrate that. You don't have to do something big, but congratulate them. Tell them how amazing, how awesome that is. And
Exactly.
it makes a difference, because a lot of people have people in their lives that think that things like completing one class is not a big accomplishment. Having an associate's degree is not an accomplishment. Raising children is not an accomplishment. Buying a house, having your first apartment is not an accomplishment. Purchasing a car, paying off your car, they think that's not an accomplishment. But if someone thinks something is a win to them, even if they think it's small, then you show up and be an inspiration to them by celebrating
Exactly.
their big win and making
Yeah.
it just as important as
Yeah.
a bigger win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard like
Exactly.
when I got my associates, well, I was going through something and I actually got my associates. I still got it on time. And then I was going for my, working on my bachelor's. And like I hear people say all the time, like, why are you gonna get a bachelor's? What you gonna do with that? It's not the point of what I'm gonna do with it. The point
Mm-hmm.
is, when you're 18, 17, 18, you go off to college, yeah, that you don't pay for that, depending on how it's paid. Like my parents took care of stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
once you come out without finishing, you're on your own.
Yes, exactly.
And so like now I'm working on my bachelor's, and the only thing I hear is, well, what are you gonna do with that? It's not the
Mm-mm.
point what I'm gonna do with it. The point is, when my dad passed away, I told him, I don't care what I have to do or how old I'm going to be, but I'm going to finish my bachelor's. I'm not doing it because I want to be rewarded with this fantastic job. It's a
Mm-hmm.
personal growth for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And people,
Exactly.
I don't know why, that's the one thing I hear all the time. Like, oh, well, I'm just going to go to school, get my associates, and that's all I need. Okay, but that's you. But don't be
Yeah.
negative about me trying to further my
Right.
education.
Exactly.
Right.
I
And
mean,
It depends on what you want. And I don't think anybody has the right to say, and what are you going to do with it? If you want to
mm-hmm.
do it, find
right,
your group that will support you and say, go for it. However
Yes.
right,
long it takes, I don't care if you go and decide to burn it up. That's your business.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Do it your way, but find your tribe and let them encourage you till you get it.
Oh yeah, let me tell you something. I be ignoring family. I be ignoring some family and friends all the time. I'm like, whatever. Okay, I got this. It might take, I might have to take a pause in school because money don't grow on trees when you're a house of one.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm gonna do it, and I think I'm 8 classes from getting my bachelor's. I think.
Okay. Well, you got it.
Mhm.
Congratulations. It'll go by
Yeah,
fast because I thought 8 classes
yeah.
was a long time, but
It's
it'll
but
go
it's a
by.
it's a process. Like when you have to when you have to find resources, because I mean I probably
Mhm.
could do it through my job, but I don't want I don't the degree I want is the degree I want. I
Yeah.
want my degree in criminal justice with a minor in homeland security. That's what I want. I
Hmm.
don't want to have to change my program just to have my job pay for it.
Right. And you'll get there. If even if it takes
Yeah,
one step at a time, you got it. You got it.
right.
But I think that this is the biggest one to me is to celebrate the small wins as much as the big wins.
Yeah.
That is the most inspirational thing that we can do as people, as women. And I think, yeah, Black women, because I don't, as us Black women, and if you're listening, all women, but there's Black women on the thing right now. This is recorded, so I'm going to share it. But as women, we need to make sure that we are celebrating our wins because we're always knocked down for things. We're always considered the underdog as women, right? So
Right.
when we celebrate each other, we celebrate the things that we accomplish, then that's why I started We Empower Her, is because I want women to know that um, if you feel empowered, if you're inspired, then you can take on the world. I know that sounds cliche, but honestly, I believe that women that feel empowered and inspired by other women, you can do whatever you set your mind out to do. So that's what I want y'all to take from this, is that we should be supporting each other as women. We should be uplifting each other and we should be inspiring each other. Be vulnerable. I know it's hard sometimes to be vulnerable because we don't want people to see our soft spots. We want to be seen as strong. But when you're trying to be an inspiration to other women, you have to let it all out. You have to be able to let them know that you are a person just like them and you're there for them and show your support and just I really want us to win. I'm really passionate about this and I really want us women to be able to do what we want to do, what we need to do for our lives and for other people as well.
Well, joining the organization was empowering and inspiring for me because it was an organization you didn't find an organization like this at all.
So what she's talking about, because this is not just this is for everyone. It's not just for the sorority. But what she's talking about, if you're listening in, is Sigma Chi Psi.
Mhm.
So Sigma Chi Psi is a sorority that I'm in, and three other ladies on this call are in as well. And it's a sorority for women that are pursuing their education online, as well as technical colleges and uh, junior colleges, community colleges. And so that's something that wasn't something that we could do. We couldn't, a lot of times you can't get into the D9 organizations whenever you are in an online college. It's a little bit more difficult. So Laverne was saying that joining Sigma Chi Psi was inspirational for her. Go ahead and explain now, because I wanted to give some background before you
I'm sorry.
start talking
Yeah,
about
I forgot that
it.
you were live. I'm sorry.
It's
No,
okay.
because I was like, like I was telling the group when we broke in the breakout room, you know, going to school, well, when I was going to school, it's like, there's a lot of hurdles to go through to get, in an organization. But when I heard about Sigma Chi Psi, I was like, ooh, I was reading up on it, and I was like, I'm gonna apply. I felt inspired and empowered. One, because it was something I didn't have to do in order to be a legacy.
Yeah.
So there's nobody in my household that's with SCP. I did it on my own. I didn't have to I didn't have to use one family member to get through to something else.
Right.
I met a lot of people. I'm still meeting people. But it's nice though, you get out, you get out of that comfort zone. It's not the norm. but it works.
Yeah,
And it's only growing and getting bigger.
I completely agree. And that's one of the things, I think I started this business when, like after I joined the sorority, and it's always been something that was in my thoughts to do. I always wanted to somehow be an inspiration to women, and I didn't know how. The first thing that I tried, which I still do, is selling bedroom candy products because well, that could be one of my next ones. Sexual empowerment is also important as well. And women, we don't talk about sex enough. Um, so I just wanted to be able to let women know it's okay. And it's not just for women, but I just wanted women to know it's okay to talk about it, you know? And so when I joined the sorority, I realized that this is an I realized that I have a voice, and I became more vocal, and that's what inspired me to create We Empower Her, because I wanted to be someone that I wanted to be a way of support for women to help empower themselves. So it does change your life, honestly. Let me share my PowerPoint again. Does anyone else want to share anything? I'm not done yet, but I just wanted to, anyone else want to share before we continue? And thank you, ladies, for sharing. I really appreciate you participating. I love when people participate. Hold on a second. So I can't talk and do things at the same time. It don't work for me like that. So I was trying to open up my PowerPoint back up and talk at the same time. And I was like, let me be quiet and do this while I'm trying to talk. All right, so that was the end of the actual presentation. I do want y'all to know, please, 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 if you need anything, please reach out to me. If you want more tips to help be an inspiring person, there are some resources out there that I did find on the internet. And I'm going to send these links out to you via email along with the recording of this. If you would like it, I'm going to upload it onto YouTube and then send the link to the recording to you. But I did find these two resources that were really helpful in being an inspiring person as well. And then I do want to invite you to the next webinar, and I'm going to send out the information for it as well. The next one is Empowering Women to Lead. So if you are a leader or you want to be a leader, and you feel like you just need some type of empowerment to get you through that, I am going to be hosting, and I may add a guest speaker to this one, but we will have our next webinar as Empowering Women to Lead. If you know someone that's a great leader, send them my way. I'll talk to them and see if they may be good for this. But I do try to get others to help out, because I don't want to be the person that says, hey, listen to me and all the things that I have to say. I think that it's important to also empower other women to have to be able to say what they want to say and be involved in this movement that I'm doing. So that's going to be August 28th. Date may change. Don't know. Sometimes things come up, but as of now, that's the date. And then I do want to say thank you to everyone that joined. The ways to reach out to me are via Facebook at facebook.com/weempowerher21. Please follow the page. You can also email me at weempowerher21@gmail.com. My website is currently under construction, so I wouldn't suggest going to the website. And then also, I did recently create an Etsy shop with some little empowerment things. I'm going to be having some like little spiral notebooks like this with empowerment sayings on it, and for women, and like mouse pads and water bottles, shirts. I only have 3 things there now because I'm just now starting the shop, but this will help me to fund other things that I want to do for the company, and as well as my women's empowerment webinars. And I think that if you can, if you want to purchase something, go ahead, but it's definitely not something that I'm asking you to do. I'm just giving you the option. If you go to etsy.com/shop/we empower her, you can see my shop there. Um, all right. So I'm going to stop the Facebook sharing as well as sharing my screen and stop the recording.